Go ahead.
The cage hunt wasn't as noisy as gunfire, but it was tense in a different way. It began in broad daylight. There, a large steel cage trap was discreetly placed. Everything had to be natural. Wild boars are very wary. Just one strange smell. The whole herd would change direction immediately. From a distance, dark shadows began to appear. Then one stepped into the cage. Next came two, then three more. The whole herd crowded together, digging through the soil inside, completely unaware of the steel door hanging precariously above.
See what happens. Just hit the button.
Just hit the button. Look at them things go every
Fence.
A dry, sharp crash echoed, short but heavy. The door fell. The entire cage shook violently. The wild boars slammed against the bars. The sound of hooves tearing through metal filled the air in panic. There were no gunshots, but the tension was almost suffocating. The hunter turned. Before him was a cage full of dark, gaunt bodies. Wild boars are not simple enemies. They are the result of centuries of misguided human interference with nature. This confrontation cannot end with a single hunting season or a single campaign.
Yep. Hello. Yep. Yep. Come on now. I guess so.
Yes, something I want to mention.
When we put the tape.
The morning on the edge of the South African forest began with a strange noise. Not the wind, not the birds, but the chaotic sounds of dozens of large bodies moving across rooftops and fences.
They're shorter one or the same one? They're shorter? Schools?
In just minutes, a quiet farmhouse turned into a battlefield. The baboons had arrived. Baboons are not a new species. They are one of the most widely distributed primate species in Africa. However, in recent decades, their numbers have increased so rapidly that they are out of control in many areas. The baboon population in Africa is estimated to be between 1.5 and over 2 million individuals. South Africa alone accounts for hundreds of thousands. They are densely concentrated in the Western Cape, Eastern Cape, Limpopo, and KwaZulu-Natal provinces.
What is schools they give you?
Yeah, that's wrong.
In many suburban and rural areas, baboon densities have exceeded 30 to 40 individuals ft squared, especially in areas where forests, farms, and residential areas intersect. Baboons live in large groups, usually from 30 to over 100 individuals. They are dominated by a dominant male. What makes baboons a serious problem is not just their numbers, but their extremely strong adaptation to humans. They are omnivorous, eating fruits, grains, tubers, eggs, even household waste. As their natural habitat shrinks, baboons quickly shift to directly exploiting the resources from humans.
And this one go?
A female can give birth to one offspring per year, and their lifespan is 20 to 30 years, with a high survival rate in suburban environments.
Neyse.
The damage caused by baboons in South Africa has gone far beyond a mere wildlife nuisance and has become a serious form of social conflict. The Western Cape region alone recorded economic losses of 5 to 7 million USD per year. This includes the destruction of agricultural products. The crops most severely affected are grapes, apples, corn, and vegetables. Baboons not only steal food, but also invade homes, tearing down roofs and breaking windows. It causes direct disruption to daily life.
No, dikkat. Şunu camı panora.
At night, howls echoed from the mountainside. The entire hill was filled with fear. The boundary Only that, from that moment, everything changed. The boundary changed. Two worlds, now colliding with a scream echoing in the deep forest. They were no longer afraid, no longer hiding. From the deep forest, the baboons poured down like a leaf storm. They rushed over fences, ripped open trash and leaves, jumped onto roofs, and stole food from people's kitchens. Screams rang out, dogs barked, pots and pans broke, but to no avail. Yeah. They called hunters from town. Flashlights streaked across the hillside. But in the night, their screams still echoed, long and deep, like the forest response.
Why did I show up once? The people that show up.
Afternoon falls. Hot wind sweeps across the dry, cracked fields. Hunters hide in the grass, guns ready. No voices, only pounding heartbeats and heavy breathing. From the deep forest, a black shadow rushes out of a pack of baboons. They roar, tearing the silence apart. The alpha in the lead, huge, eyes glowing red, charges straight towards the truck. Would you dare face that moment when the forest is silent and only the heartbeats of the hunter and the hunted remain? Leave a comment to share your opinion. Boom. The sound of gunfire pierced the sky. Smoke billowed, dust flew everywhere. The baboon stopped, collapsing on the sunburned ground. Silence. The wind blew through the grass. The hunter stepped forward and met its eyes. The eyes were still open, burning like the last flame. They are not just strong, they are smart, terrifying. The mountain baboons of South Africa have learned to observe, hide, and calculate like true hunters. During the day, they disappear. Only the rustling of leaves and shadows on the cliffs.
We have clip underneath.
At night, they come alive, quiet,
Yeah,
fast,
space for
and
clip.
organized.
Then check out.
No longer in large groups, they break into small groups coordinated like elite units.
Your fabric. Go like this. Come like this side up. It's good.
Iron traps, they know how to avoid them. They even throw rocks to activate them remotely.
Oh, let me see.
Flares, they stand still, waiting for them to go out. Then they
Yeah.
continue moving like
That's
ghosts
good.
in the night.
Right here.
They open doors, rummage
put the
through
short
cupboards,
screw.
throw
And the
trash,
short screw for the-
snatch food, then
Put this one
disappear
and the other
behind
one.
trees. Share your thoughts in the comments
So we need
section.
to add that.
Do you side with human intelligence or natural
If you want, you
instinct?
could have tape, but you don't need that tape.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to follow the next wild stories.
Lele. ¿Sabes aprender a leer?
The hunters carried rifles, installed drones, and erected steel fences. But the more they chased, the smarter they became, the more daring they became, and they waited for their chance.
Is it good there?
In the sky, machines monitored. On the ground, nature responded
Go on
with
the schools
primitive
here.
Over here,
intelligence.
there's a problem. The screw is going out.
Screw come out?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Probably cut it off. But if you put it here, you could go with the screw here.
Yeah.
You could take out this screw and
Yeah.
put 3 screws there.
Yeah.
Tens of millions of years ago,
And put it
the
back in. Let me see.
Paleogene period when jungles covered Africa and Asia.
How's over there?
Trees grew tall,
Sure.
mist thickened, and somewhere in the foliage, the first life stirred.
You got it like this?
Yeah, like this is okay.
Then put the screw.
Ancient primates appeared, small, agile.
Okay, hold on,
They
you
lived
look.
in trees,
No,
ate
you
sweet
look.
fruit,
Yeah, look.
hunted insects, unaware that they were writing the first lines in the story of intelligence.
Is it good?
Yes, look.
Okay. Give me the screwdriver and the screw.
Time passed. The forest changes shape. The climate changes skin. And from the shadow of the primitive tree, 2 evolutionary branches gradually separate. One, monkeys, flexible, moving on 4 limbs, climbing, calling loudly in the green forest. One, apes, lost their tails, stood upright, knew how to use stones, knew how to think, and then one day became humans.
So you had it like this?
Both have the same origin, the same soul of survival. But the path has diverged tens of millions of years ago.
Become like this is not bigger, you go what? Yeah, go like this. Come back now. Yeah, that goes. Hold on, look.
Among them, there are those who do not choose human intelligence, but choose the power of nature.
I want to put the 2 screws so they could line up. If I put the 2 screws here, then we could always twist this one how we want. What about over here? That look good there?
That is the baboon, the master of Africa's
Hold on,
wild.
please. Hold.
Yeah, you have to.
They
go
are
this way.
intelligent, brave, and live in groups that are closely connected like a survival machine. No need for
Good
tools,
there?
Yeah, it's not.
no need for language.
Sure.
Just instinct and intelligence forged through
Check it
millions
again.
of years of struggle.
This side.
Today, when people look at them, they see a part of their past that has never really disappeared. If you are also
It's like
passionate
this,
about
you can't
hunting,
screw up to because
please
you're gonna
subscribe
screw
to
on
the
the
channel now to explore the
Well,
most
too much space
exciting
there.
hunting trips with me.
Try this kind of, try this one. That's good there?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, like this, yeah.
Okay. I can take on this screw there. Take that. I have this screw there. I can take on it. 3, 4 screws. Put it in the 4 screws. Yeah, I could use the 4 screws and it will be tightly and it will line up properly.
Hello, my friend. Today, we're going to embark on another intense confrontation. Wild boars, a species devastating forests and farmlands across America. Why can't we control them? And are humans really winning this battle? Let's begin the adventure. Wild boars are becoming one of the most damaging invasive species in the United States. They've emerged from the forests, walked straight
Plenty
into
pig, huh?
fields and farms.
Lots of pig. But they kill them too much.
In just a few decades, they've become the most serious threat to American agriculture.
When I put it on, it'll be better. So the line. Let me check
From
out this
Texas
screw.
and Florida to California and the Midwest,
Yeah,
wild
better
boar
screws.
footprints are becoming increasingly common. The dirt roads are plowed, rows of corn are flattened, fields are left mud and mess overnight.
Oh shit. It's number 8.
Currently, the United States is estimated to have between 6 and 9 million wild boars, distributed across
You hear that?
at least 35 states.
6 or 9 million.
Texas alone accounts for nearly half, with approximately 2.5 to 3
Somebody
million.
asked a question. What
In many
car
key
is this?
agricultural areas,
What is
wild
you
boar
doing?
densities can reach up to
This is a
20 animals per square
2000
foot.
18.
Near
2018
the water sources,
BMW
dense forests,
X5?
farmland, the number
X5M.
is even higher.
We just put it on some new.
With such densities, just a herd of a
custom-
few dozen
custom.
is enough to completely destroy a corn, wheat, or soybean field in a single night. Wild boars don't wait until late at night to appear. From dusk onwards, as the sun sets behind the edge of the forest, they begin to move. During the day, they hide in the dense forest,
Bring
almost
those girls.
disappear from human
Huh?
sight.
No, bring it. I'll use this screw and
Okay.
bring the one.
But as
So it can
soon
be
as the
exact line
sun
up
goes
straight when I
down,
put these
the
through.
wild boars leave their hiding
Put it here.
places simultaneously. They move in herds. When threatened, wild boars can become extremely aggressive. They are ready to attack livestock, bountiful animals, and even humans. What forced wild boars
See, that's
to
why I
live
said-
this way?
Good. If he's here, cut them off. It doesn't matter. Because nobody gonna sit on the bump. I don't know why they make these screws so long.
Because their habitat is shrinking, forest fires, indiscriminate logging, and human expansion has depleted their natural food sources. Under the pressure of survival, wild boars are forced to adapt. They are gradually moving
Yeah,
towards
because this
humans, where abundant nutrients are available.
Keep it close there. Ready?
And from there,
Yeah.
conflict between wild boars and humans erupted into a fierce confrontation.
They use this.
The damage caused by wild boars to the United States is not to be underestimated. According to reports compiled by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, wild boars cause between 1.6 billion and 2.5 billion USD in damage annually. In southern states such as Texas, Alabama, and Georgia, 30 to 50% of crops on some small farms can be destroyed in just a few nights by wild boar invasion.
Yeah.
Not only do wild boars destroy crops, they also cause soil erosion.
Yeah.
Furthermore, wild boars are intermediate hosts for many dangerous diseases such as brucellosis, leptospirosis, and swine fever. These can spread to livestock and, in some cases, affect humans. Under increasing pressure, many US states have been forced to allow year-round wild boar hunting. This is no longer sport hunting, but rather a form of emergency control. Hunters are licensed to use rifles, usually with calibers such as 223 or 308, to ensure the ability to take down targets quickly and accurately.
You put down.
Look at this.
Yeah.
The hunting group advances slowly from the edge of the forest, maintaining distance.
No, I think it's good like this, no?
I don't know about the boots.
From a distance, dark shadows began to appear. At first, a few small individuals. Then came the adults, large in stature, with high shoulders and long snouts.
We can put there, but you need the breeze to go in too. You don't want the breeze to push too much. But was it good there?
The hunter chose a low position. He aimed his rifle steadily.
I think that's good.
It's like this or other side?
I think we should have put that first.
It's like this or like this?
Yeah, like this. Yeah.
No, I think it's like this. Yeah.
There was no rush. There were no rapid bursts of fire.
We should have put
The
the screw
target
down
was
first.
usually an adult at the edge
I
of the
put down the
herd.
whole thing together.
Okay.
I think so.
When the time came, a short, dry gunshot rang out.
Doesn't matter. But I think you might need when we do this, we should put the toothpaste too. If we put the toothpaste stick and put the bolt.
The pig hit by the bullet fell almost instantly.
Oh, let me see how much.
The entire herd paused for a split second. Then chaos surged forward.
Yeah,
We take it back and put it better. No clean job. But it can go up too.
However, there is an undeniable truth. Wild boars reproduce
Go up too
incredibly
because we
quickly.
have in it.
yeah.
And then put extra screw to make it.
A female
wobbly.
can give birth to 2 litters per year. Each litter contains 6 to 12 piglets, even more under favorable conditions. In just 12 to 18 months, the population can double. They are omnivorous. Wild boars practically eat every food source they can find,
Let me get this.
from tree roots and tubers in the forest to corn, rice, sugarcane, and peanuts in the fields.
That's good.
Yeah.
Therefore, in many areas, hunting from the ground must be combined with large cages, allowing to catch entire herds at once. A successful trap can hold 40 to 70 wild boars in a single night. Although effective in the short term, these measures are still only the tip of the iceberg, because the reproduction rate of wild boars always outpaces the rate of elimination.
Yeah, my computer was fucking on last night. 1 minute is printing.
Late afternoon, as the last rays of sunlight slip across the edge of the forest, the group of hunters begins setting up the cage traps at the edge of the field. The large steel cage is placed close to the familiar trail. Bait is spread evenly inside, corn kernels, a little grain residue. The smell is strong enough to draw the entire herd closer. The next morning, the hunter returned while the mist still hung low over the ground.
Yeah, the plastic.
The player?
From a distance, the entire herd of wild boars was confined within the cramped steel space. They gasped for breath, banging against the bars of the cage in despair. Just another step in a repeating cycle, silent and necessary.
I think there's 3 small ones for this side.
The battle with wild boars in America is therefore still ongoing. Hunting, trapping, habitat management, all are being applied simultaneously. But so far, there is no solution that can be considered a silver bullet. On the fields plowed to the ground every night, will humans be able to control wild boars, or will they continue to chase an invasion with no end in sight? In the distance, an alligator was basking on a rock, its long, dark body stretched out. It
think
lay
this one is-
motionless, its eyes half
The
open.
big one?
Yeah.
The hunter held his
For the
breath,
side.
adjusting his aim to the center of its skull.
Go.
Bang! The shot tore through the morning. The alligator thrashed violently a few times before sinking.
Come, let's go there quick.
What compelled the hunter to open fire in the middle of that quiet morning? Let's take a look at why this reptile has become a target of control across the United States. In the swamps stretching from Florida to Louisiana, an ancient force still exists: the American alligator. The reptiles that dominated wetlands for millions of years. In 2025, the entire United States recorded more than 5 million individuals. Florida and Louisiana alone accounted for about 2.3 million. In swamp areas that are flooded year-round, densities can reach 25 to 35 individuals, FT squared. During the breeding season, this number increases to 40 individuals, FT squared, creating one of the densest alligator populations on the planet. American alligators are not random predators. They are masters of ambush. They don't need to chase. They just lie still. With a body length of 3.5 to 4 feet, weighing up to 771.62 pounds, and a bite force of 3,700 pounds per square inch is enough to crush the ribs of an adult bear. They blend into the dark water like an invisible shadow. A very slight movement, a faint ripple, and then in half a second, it was all over. Young deer, wild boars, even cattle dogs, all became victims in a moment of no reaction. A silent predator, and a haunting of the entire American South. But as humans expanded into urban areas, when thousands of hectares of mangroves, grasslands, and swamps were flattened, to make way for townhouses and lush golf courses,
I think it's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
alligators
They're
lost their home, which they had been attached to for millions of
Good.
years, forcing them to
Solid,
leave
man.
their old waters and find new homes. And cities
You need a
became
tip,
reluctant
a tip,
destinations.
It's hard to put that on this.
It's hard.
America began to witness unprecedented scenes in history. Alligators appeared in New Orleans backyards, lying in the middle of Texas highways, sneaking into garages, swimming in family pools.
You can put tape if you have a.
Living on golf
You probably could go different car
Yeah.
with the flat surface. You put. It's better screw than the tip.
That's all it.
Yeah. That won't move anywhere. I don't know why they put this screw so long. Why this one cut off?
Yeah, still color.
Yeah.
Then in 2023, Hurricane Goliath reignited all
You
fears.
should have put the shorter screw.
Floodwaters from the Louisiana swamps rose, carrying millions of individuals into residential areas. In the dark night, streetlights flickered on the water. People caught dozens of long shadows, dark and quiet, crawling through yards, parks, and lawns.
That's good?
Yep.
According to a comprehensive report from the states of Florida, Louisiana, and Texas from 2018 to 2023, damage caused by alligators entering residential and tourist areas continuously each year. The golf tourism industry has been hit hardest. In 2022, a major tournament in Florida recorded a loss of about $700,000 after a 4-meter alligator walked straight across the fairway. The entire tournament was
But
cancelled.
the screw too small. If you put the. Yeah, but that's.
Surrounding residential areas have also suffered serious damage.
Yeah, that's good.
Every year, more than 18,000 incidents of alligators destroying fences and swimming pools.
Hello.
Even biting garage doors have been recorded by Florida Wildlife Control. These damages
look great
are
now.
estimated to cost
Great,
between 12 and
On the
15
side.
million USD a year for remediation.
Nice. You look at the side, it's good. Should be carbon fiber.
I know. But why they sell this 200, 150 to 200 for this?
The most
Yeah,
dangerous are
expensive.
still
Because
the
I want one for
surprise
my car
attacks.
too. I put one. I
According
paid a
to
guy $100
statistics from the
to
Southern
spray.
Wildlife
I buy for
Management Agency,
120,
in the
and
last
I
5
go with
years,
brick. It fell
the
off half.
number of crocodile
So I need
attacks
one
on
too for my
people
car
has
in front.
increased by about 35%.
But that one come black.
Mainly
The other one
occurring
might
in the
come. You have
rainy
to spray.
season
Yeah.
and breeding
No good.
season,
Yeah, no good.
when they lose their
But you don't have to
habitat
spray,
or
you
are
just put and go,
stimulated
that's
by
it.
urban noise.
I keep this.
Yeah, I keep the one I print. My printer don't print sometimes. That's why I say print.
That puts an end to my
It's a
target
crazy
fishing.
printer.
Okay, I work on this Sunday.
Yeah, what I was saying about the thing that they try keep giving me deal after I
Faced with
cancelled.
this situation,
And they didn't
many
come back here
state
after they
governments
delivered
were forced to
the
implement
23rd. They didn't came back here.
large-scale programs.
So the guy saying they come back after the 23rd and
But
they didn't do no
participating
more
was
work.
not easy.
Because I tell them don't have to
Participants
come, they
must be
cancel.
over 18 years old and have a gun license, accurate shooting skills,
And the one that said
strict
they'll
safety
keep trying
rules.
to give me
Hunts were
deal,
conducted day and
but
night.
I'll give you the exact figure and I have the paper there with the lawyer saying that I give you $15,000, $20,000, $19,000 off.
Dawn in the Louisiana swamps. A thin mist covered the water.
I don't know if you could put that one in
The
this
hunter
one
was
in the front page
experienced
and
after dozens of
every
seasons.
I
time.
can put,
He watched
if you
every
put too
trace
much,
carefully.
it's not good.
At least you put that
He checked the special
the
hook.
company
The bait was a
that could
hunted
see the
bait that
company.
had been hung several dozen feet above
Because
the
they want to
water.
ask you if you go to the
Enough
investigation,
to force the
if you make a
alligator to
report
spring up
complaint, then you're
by
supposed
hooking
to
itself.
follow the protocol, make complaint first.
Besides, you
And
can
they
count
see.
this.
And they say
As
now,
the
based
boat
on the
approached,
complaint and
the
evidence,
group fell
we
silent.
see it's the same
A line,
as what we
taut
had
as if about
people
to
complain
snap,
before.
shook
We didn't want to
violently.
give back the money and they had to give back the money, stuff like that.
It was there.
Because maybe the judge don't want to
With a
look, you want to
strong
present
The
evidence.
alligator, more than
You don't
3
want
feet long,
to say,
rose from the water.
he will know.
Its tail
But he
lashed
just
against
wants to
the
see what
side of
you
the
give
boat,
him to
making
say. That's why I
everyone
say,
dizzy.
if you put that, then I have proof of that video, voice note, and say that they're trying to give me deal every time I call. I don't want no deal because of
The next task is not to shoot,
misrepresentation
but
and
to
now
restrain
my roof
and tie
leaking
the
because of
muzzle.
all that.
The most
That's why I say
dangerous
put the
step.
mold built up. They put in their thing. They're not responsible for mold, and now they're not telling you the obligation about what will happen. Now they say they're not
The hunter
responsible because they
quickly
know
threw the rope around and
mold is a
tightened it.
possibility of
Then
mold
a
build
roll
up.
of
They didn't say that to you
industrial tape was
in the
wrapped
contract, so
continuously
that means
around
they
the
say
muzzle.
we don't responsible for mold because they know it's a possible your roof might be leaking after this installation. They tell you none of that. So based on what they're saying, they misrepresent and try to cover up. Because if your roof leaking now, they're not responsible because they say in the contract they're not responsible for mold build-up and mold because they know the roof's gonna leak. So that's the thing.
I don't think they can win. It's hard.
He's gonna be glued. You can put that.
I just want to know how the lien thing going. They have to come to court.
Yeah, we have to use it.
They have to come.
No, we don't.
So the judge could take up the lien,
The judge can take out the
Yeah, give me some tape. I got
even though they're not there.
I got some tape.
So the way you're thinking now for the lien, the one we're doing is for the lien.
Season,
After the lane,
when
it's
the
too
water
bad.
level rises, crocodiles have hundreds of hiding
They
places.
can, Subak is not
That's
for the
when
same
night
thing.
hunting
I'm
becomes
confused.
important.
Put together.
The
If
night
you
is
do
pitch
both
black.
together,
The
then they
swamp
can
forest
register them and
is
send them
filled
together.
with the chirping of insects.
So the one we're doing for the
The
first one,
hunter
for the what
turns
we're
on
doing
the
now with the
infrared
first one, it's the
camera,
same thing.
The heat sensor,
showed them
the
anyway in the
tactical
first one.
flashlight.
So we have to Subak it again.
In the darkness, 2 pale yellow spots suddenly appear. The crocodile's eyes reflect the light.
Let me break it down clean so you don't mess this up. Number 1, you already sued in small claims court. That means your main case is in small claims. The judge there controls the dispute. So your counterclaim, money for damages, should normally be filed in the same small claims case. Number 2, lien removal is different. A lien, especially from a contractor like Solar, is not handled in small claims. It usually goes to
What
Court
goes
of
on
King's
behind
Bench
the
of Alberta
closed walls of
because
you
it deals
as
with
pig
property title
farms?
rights, not just money.
How does a
So
nation
your
manage
strategy should
nearly
be
73
A, small
million
claims
pigs
court,
annually,
file your
operate
statement of
using
defense,
high-tech
counterclaim,
facilities,
your
manage
35K
waste
damages.
sustainably,
This covers roof damage,
and
misrepresentation,
the journey is
cancellation
more
within 10
complicated
days,
than you might
faulty
think.
installation. B, in King's Bench, separate filing. File, application to discharge lien. This removes pressure. If lien stays, they control your property leverage.
With varying
If lien
scales,
removed, you
each
gain
place
leverage in
has its
negotiation.
own model, but they all
Important
share
mistake to
one goal:
avoid.
to raise healthy
Do
pigs
not
before they
try to
enter the
remove
massive
lien
food
inside small
supply
claims.
chain.
Mix lien removal into your defense. Judge will reject or ignore it. Smart
In
move. What I would
2023,
do if I were
the
you.
total number of pigs
One,
raised in the
file
United
defense plus
States
counterclaim
reached
and swap
approximately
claims immediately.
72.9 million.
At the same time, or right after, file lien
Pig
removal in
farms
King's
are
Bench.
concentrated mainly in
This creates
states like
pressure from two
Iowa,
sides. You
Minnesota,
are attacking
and North
financially,
Carolina,
counterclaim.
where
You are
barns are
removing their
spread out.
leverage. Lien.
Feeding
Your
systems,
position becomes
temperature control,
contract
almost
canceled within
completely
10
automated.
days. Work defective. Property damaged. They still put lien. Looks aggressive. Bad faith.
Globally,
That's strong.
the country with the
If you want next
largest
step,
pig population
I
is
can
China,
combine your full
with
defense plus
approximately
counterclaim, lien, or ready.
449 million
And
pigs.
draft.
The European Union ranks second with approximately 142 million pigs.
That's the strategy.
The United States ranks third in the world in terms of total
And they
pig
move the lane or
population,
they just have
but
to
it
have to see the
stands
judge?
out due to its efficiency and organizational scale. Pig breeds include Yorkshire, Duroc, Chester White, and Berkshire. Of these, Yorkshire is the most widely raised breed in North America. Why do you think this breed is so widely raised? Subscribe to the channel to discover the reasons behind this choice. Currently, Iowa has the largest pig population in the United States,
Yeah,
with
that one looks nice, huh?
approximately 23.4 million pigs distributed across more than 5,400
When
farms.
you file in
Minnesota
Court of King's Bench
ranks
of Alberta,
second with
you are asking a
8.9
judge to
million.
review everything and make an order.
These dry numbers,
What
when
actually
viewed from
happens
the
after you
fields
file?
and barns,
One,
are the heartbeat of a
file
livestock
application to
industry that
discharge
feeds
lien,
millions
your
of
affidavit
people.
evidence. 2. The solar company responds if they want. They can file their own affidavit, try to justify why the lien should stay.
The production
3.
process begins
Hearing,
with
sometimes
selecting the
quick.
appropriate
Could be
pig breed.
in person or
Yorkshire
short
pigs
hearing,
account
chambers
for over
often fast.
70%
4.
of the total
Judge
breeding stock
decides.
in the US.
The judge can,
With a high
option
lean
1,
meat ratio
remove the
and a
lien
thin
when you
layer of
want.
back fat,
If
they
contract
are
was
very
canceled, work
suitable
is
for
defective,
large-scale
no valid money
industrial
owed, lien
production.
gets
No more, no
discharged.
valid money owed.
Title.
Conversely,
Option 2, keep the
Berkshire
lien.
pigs sell for
If
20-30%
there's still a
higher
valid dispute about
prices.
money or they follow
They are
lien rules
renowned for their
properly,
beautifully
then
marbling,
lien stays
catered to high-end
temporarily.
markets.
Option 3, remove lien, but require security.
The
Very common.
adaptability of
Judge
the
says,
breed
lien
is a
is
key
removed,
factor.
but you must pay money
Artificial
into court.
insemination is now
Example,
widely
you
applied.
deposit $850K,
It allows for
lien is
genetic
removed from your
control
house.
and
Case continues separately.
synchronization of the breeding stock.
What matters most?
Each
This is key.
insemination only
The
lasts
judge is
15-20
not deciding the full
minutes,
case
but
yet.
it determines
Only
the
asking,
entire
quote, unquote,
subsequent
is
growth
this lien
cycle.
valid enough to stay on the property? Close quote. Your advantage, based on your story. You have strong arguments.
Each year,
Canceled within 10-day
approximately
cooling off
5 million
period.
piglets are born in the United States.
Government
The
program.
first few days
Or
of
caused
life
roof
are the
damage.
most fragile
Panels not
period.
even properly used. That
Piglets
makes
are
the lien look weak
exclusively
or
nursed.
abusive.
They are
Properly
then
used, not in
gradually
use.
transitioned to other
You
foods.
don't just file to
They
win,
also
you file to
receive
create
regular
pressure.
vaccinations
Lien
to boost
equals
their
their
immune
leverage.
system.
Removing lien equals you take control. Once lien is threatened, they are more likely to settle fast. If you want, I'll tighten your case.
When piglets
I
are
can.
about 3 months old,
No
they
problem.
are separated from their mothers and begin
But we have
eating
to
more
remove the lien
nutritious
next.
feed.
So that we gotta do for Monday?
When they
Monday.
reach a weight of 40 to 50 pounds,
Sunday I work with you.
farmers accelerate
by
the
page.
fattening
I
process
send
to
you, you
prepare
say
them for
to
market.
myself.
Yeah, but my computer is so hard to edit. I try
print-
edit.
I print for you.
I get it edit, but then
Sows weighing
I
around
get the words go like this.
250
I can't get the
pounds
comeback.
typically give
I say,
birth to
fuck,
2
I
litters
fucked up
per year.
Just when I